Okay, in this short video I'm going to show you, we're going to talk about what the maximum slope of this curve is. And this is y equals to sine of x. Y equals sine of x. And I turned off the slope, the instantaneous slope, and I just wanted to observe the actual derivative being drawn. So we could talk about more specifically what's going on there. So you can see here that we're looking at pretty much a zero slope right here. It's called a horizontal tangent. So at pi over 2. Now if I bring this point forward, you can see that the slope is negative, and it's getting steeper and steeper and steeper going down this hill. And the question was, how steep does it get? Now if I get closer and closer to pi, you can see here that it locks in right there. And you can see that the slope, this point, represents the same x value and the slope of the curve, which is -1. So let's see what happens if I bring it a little bit more forward. And now you can see it's getting less and less. The hill is starting to bottom out, and we go back towards 0, which means that this was the steepest it got, and that was the point pi comma -1, and that represents the slope. So the slope, the steepest it got, was -1. Let's go see what's going on when the curve is going up. So it's going up and up and up. The slope is getting steeper. Slope is getting steeper. And then as I get closer and closer to 2 pi, all of a sudden, locks into 2 pi. I can see the point 1. Let me just erase this right here. So that's 2 pi, comma 1. So that means the slope at this point is 1. And let's see what happens if we go a little bit forward. Now you can see it starts to drop back down, which means that gives me enough evidence to suggest that that is the maximum slope, 2 pi, comma 1. And I think we would actually see the same thing if we went back right here at the original. See that? 0, again, 1. The y value is 1, which means that the slope is at its maximum right there. Okay. So my answer to the question is, what's the maximum slope on the curve y equals sine x? It's 1. What's the minimum slope? -1. Something else to just sort of think about as we go further into calculus, and we'll talk more about this later, but anytime you have a maximum on your derivative, that correlates to what's called a point of inflection. So that's most likely the steepest point of your curve, and you can see that happens also on the minimum, except that's the steepest when the curve is going down, or when the slope is negative. So something else to consider, that these maximum minimums will always happen at those points. So I hope this helps.